I remember a day or two later, the problem statements were released for the challenge sets. So the way how the Seneca Hackathon works. Yes, I have. And I wouldn't say it's my trophy, it's me and my team's trophy from last year.
Oh, nice. So it was a team effort.
It was definitely a team effort.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Seneca Hackathon's podcast series. I'm Arfat Ansari, your host for this podcast, and we have a brilliant guest, Majd Mnayer, from previous year's hackathon. He was the winner of Housing Hackathon, and we have a one-on-one question and answers with him to discuss about his experience last year and see how he liked it. Welcome, Majd.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. I can't wait to see this year's hackathon. The last year hackathon was amazing, and I'm really looking forward to see how this all turns out. Thank you for having me here.
Nice. You have bought your trophy from last year.
Yes, I have. And I wouldn't say it's my trophy. It's me and my team's trophy from last year.
Oh, nice. So it was a team effort.
It was definitely a team effort. While there were many people who tried to go at it alone, hackathons are definitely a team event, 100%. Yeah.
So how would you say was your teamwork and how was the collaborating experience?
Oh wow, my team was amazing. I would say the biggest part of that is me and 3 of them worked together in projects, in courses throughout the program. So I'm in the BSD program, which is the Honors Bachelor of Technology Software Development program at Seneca. And we've always worked together on projects, on assignments. So we had the harmony. We knew how each other thought. We knew how to work with one another. And it was just, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really an amazing experience.
So you didn't face any issues, clashes within the team?
Oh, no. We did not face any of that. We always thought ahead. Before the hackathon actually began, we already had plan A, plan B, plan C, and we had backups and backups to our backups. And we were ready. We were ready.
So before joining this hackathon, the Seneca Housing Hackathon, did you have any experience organizing any hackathons before? Or how was this different from the previous hackathons?
Yeah, I did. I did. Actually, the Seneca Hackathon was my second hackathon. My first hackathon was the Bell Geek Fest hackathon. The topic was security. So we went there, we didn't really know much, and we created this awesome application, kind of like Google Drive with like a lot of encryption, a lot of security, but we didn't end up winning, mainly because we didn't really tailor our solution to what they were looking for. The difference between Seneca Hackathon and that hackathon, in the Seneca Hackathon, there's a whole lot more than just to create a working solution to winning. The Seneca Hackathon is about taking a problem, analyzing it, thinking of possible solutions, taking stakeholders into consideration, laying out feasibility reports, business plans, thinking about possible investors. And it's not just about developers, is what I'm trying to say. Software developers isn't the only thing that Seneca Hackathon needs you to participate.
So it brings in the whole technology industry.
Yeah. It
so
brings in.
Good thing for everybody from the college who are students from different departments, different disciplines to participate in this hackathon.
Oh, for sure. We're talking, project managers, business analysts. Some people might not be in IT-related disciplines at all, right? There are many different solutions. There's no one fit-all solution to a problem, right? Especially to a problem as big as the problem that we had last year, which is the housing crisis.
Yeah.
And
this year we have food.
Yeah, food. Yeah, that's a big topic. And the food industry has a lot of investments in it. There's a lot of companies doing great things. So I think the idea to think of something unique that is impactful this year might be harder than last year.
True. True.
Yeah.
And to be honest, personally, I think housing crisis was a real challenge in Canada at that time, and the topic was really suited for that year. I'm curious about this year, how it's gonna go, and how is the food hackathon, like participants are gonna give the solutions for whatever the challenges provided by the sponsors.
Yeah, as I said, thinking of solutions for this year is probably going to be more difficult, mainly because when you think of the housing crisis, it immediately comes to your head. Okay, we're talking about prices, we're talking about optimal locations, we're talking about having enough houses for everybody. You can immediately think of what's going wrong and how to possibly counter that. Whereas in the food category, it's difficult, right? Like you think of food, you think of health, maybe price, and you need some sort of guidance to set you on the right path,
Right.
to know what to think of, right? And that's what the challenge sets are for at the Seneca Hackathon. Yeah.
During the hackathon, did you learn anything specific, any skills, and was this helpful for finding a job after winning?
Yeah, the entire journey in the previous hackathon, in the Seneca Housing Hackathon, was a nonstop learning experience. Mainly because what we've developed had so many things that we had to learn on the spot. Right, so let's talk about the technology side first. We had to learn how to take this very unclean housing data that we managed to find, clean it up, get rid of outliers, give it to a model, train the model, tune the model.
So where did you get this data from?
We got this data. I don't remember the website, but it was one of the things listed. I remember we were all giving some sort of document, and in this document, we were given a bunch of data sources. And I believe it was the same data source that the organizing team used to determine the housing prices that were the actual prize money awards last year. So that's what we used. But yeah, that's in terms of technology. In terms of everything else, we had to think of the bigger picture, right? We had to think of the bigger picture. The hackathon isn't just about creating the solution. It was also about creating this amazing presentation you want to present to the judges. We also added a little element of showmanship in there. I remember we wowed the audience in our last final presentation when we told everybody, hey, this is not just a prototype, it's up there on production.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can all access it.
That's amazing to do something like that within a week.
Yeah, that was...
a project into production, that's amazing.
Yeah, we were really proud of what we did, and it was worth it. The awe of all of the contestants and the audience at the time was definitely worth it. Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, did you do this within a week, or were you preparing for this from before?
We did it within a week.
Oh,
what we did from before, however, before we even knew what to develop or what the problem statements were, we didn't even know how it worked, right? We just thought of the problem, housing. What are possible problems? What are some possible solutions to problems we can create in housing? So we laid out a bunch of ideas. We were brainstorming before we started developing, before we actually saw what the problem statement was, and before we got to work. So yeah, we had a lot of things laid out. We had a lot of potential ideas. We had some time to test the feasibility of some of them, but that we did not end up implementing in our actual solution. But yeah, it's a long game. You got to think ahead.
Yeah, so the way you described it now, it doesn't look like a boring coding challenge. Now it includes meeting people, connecting with people, and showcasing your skills. And you did something extraordinary by surprising everyone by putting it into production at the last day of Hackathon.
Yeah. It was ready on production, and we actually put the URL at the end. They were like, "What is this?" And we said, "This is the URL. Open your phone and laptop and go there." And they were like, "Oh."
Maybe this year's participants can do the same. So we have the event from 23rd to 29th March, and they can show their skills, same like you.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm really excited. A lot of my friends are participating in this year's hackathon, and I know there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people from many different institutions, and I'm really looking forward to see
Good to know.
how it's going to be. Yeah.
I have one question about the whole hackathon experience with Seneca. Do you remember anything specific which is still in your memory, like it was extraordinary or something different for you?
Yeah, I would say there are a couple of things. First of all, I want to start off by saying the organizing team did an excellent job at the time. It was wonderful. It was such a nice event, such a well-organized event. But besides the organizing team, so originally we had planned to present all together. That was the plan. We had rehearsed. We planned to present and demo our project all together. But I remember one of the judges passed by, and he wasn't even a judge in our category. He just heard that we did something cool, and he wanted to come and see it. I was just explaining the project and the solution to him. And then he said, you know what? You present it alone. So that was an improvisation on the spot. I didn't even know what to talk about. So whatever I actually spoke at the final presentation was all improvisation.
Oh,
that
great.
was not written. Yeah, that was all off the top of my head. Besides that, I actually met, I got the contact information of the CEO of my first co-op job.
Oh, you met him
After the
at
hackathon. Yes,
Okay.
Spaces Shared, which was probably the best first co-op job I could have had. That was a remarkable experience, and I can't believe that I met him through that event. But this goes to show that in this event, it's not just about, you're going to have an awesome time if you participate, right? You're going to see the aura, everything there, the atmosphere is wonderful, but there's also a big opportunity to meet business people, people from, what do they call them? Talent scouts or whatever from big companies. You're going to meet a lot of people there. And then there's a very big possibility that you might land a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that you described it such a way, the benefits and the advantages, I know many people, you know many people who are willing to participate, but they are too intimidated. Do you have a message for them?
Get it out of the way. Participate in any hackathon. Come join the Seneca Hackathon. I know you're scared. Try it out. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing bad can come out of it, right? It's just an amazing fun ride. Join the hackathon. It's about having fun. I know it's intimidating to others, but it's mostly intimidating if you join with the mindset that you're gonna win. That's when you feel how intimidating it is and how competitive it can be. But I would encourage people to join to have fun. It's such a wonderful experience.
Yeah. And I think either you win or you learn. You don't lose this
Exactly.
hackathon. So let me ask you a question about your project last year, about your winning project.
Right.
Can you talk more about it?
Yeah, for sure. So the challenge set that we chose was student housing. And we wanted to come up with a solution that is truly meaningful and is definitely going to make it different. And we didn't want to just fight on one front, which is the students' front. We also wanted to fight on another front, which is giving incredible, very valuable data to all of these, these companies that build these apartment buildings and these houses for their students. So what we did was, well, first of all, I'm gonna say the name of the actual project. We ended up calling it Maple Nest. Why? Because, Canada, and nest because, housing, nests. I don't know. That's what we came up with.
I like how you relate to things.
It was. We didn't really have a lot of time to come up with the name. So, anyways, the entire idea of it was we had this website where students that want to potentially come to Canada to study can look up and they can choose their college. Let's say someone's coming to Seneca Polytechnic, right? They would choose Seneca Polytechnic. They would choose the campus. And after they choose the campus, it's going to show them all the close neighborhoods to the campus. How much time would it take you to commute to campus? Are there grocery stores next to this place if you rent? How close is it to the TTC? And a bunch of other stuff. And in addition to that, if they select a date in the future, let's say a year and a half in the future, since we had a lot of data, we trained this LLM, and we had machine learning to predict the price of the apartment that they were looking to rent, or this house that they were looking to rent at the time that they selected. Let's say you go there and you say, I'm going to come here in a year and a half. You're going to know the price. You're going to know how far it is from campus. You're going to know a lot of other stuff about its surroundings. And we also had a built-in AI bot. We called it MapleBot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you created the bot
Yeah,
yourself.
we actually also created another bot, an AI bot, and this bot was prompt engineered in a way that it would only and only answer questions regarding that location that you chose to rent an apartment in, its neighborhood. So you can ask it, hey, are there, I don't know, Mexican restaurants in the vicinity? It's going to tell you, yeah. You can ask it, is this neighborhood safe or not? It's going to go ahead and, tell you whatever the answer is.
Quite detailed.
Things like that, yeah. And the idea, besides all of that, every time someone goes and clicks and says, okay, I want to go to this neighborhood, we're going to register that and we're going to save it. All of this data is very valuable because it's telling us where people want to live, where people want to rent. Now, all of this data, we take it, we clean it, and we prepare it. And this is the other front we're fighting on. For all of these, I'm not sure what the actual word is, contractors, for all of these contractors, we give them this data that tells them where are students looking forward to live the most. How many are they?
Both parties.
Precisely. What are they looking for? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom apartments. And so in addition to that, we also had the ability to offer almost infinite ways to generate money. So we're gonna talk about the return of investment to the investors, right? So I could very easily say if somebody searches that neighborhood, let's say where I live at Yonge and Eglinton. Okay, let's say somebody searches up Yonge and Eglinton. Well, a store might message us and say, hey, can you advertise my store's name when someone searches up Yonge and Eglinton? And it will get their name out there.
They have to advertise it on the website.
Yeah, precisely. So they get in contact with us and we can set it up, right? And we also had links to all of these websites like Condo CA and a bunch of other websites. I don't really know the names of them, that would redirect our users immediately to trusted websites where they can actually rent.
Okay.
Yeah, for the price that we mentioned. Yeah.
I like how you have connected everything for the students. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see it's like a bunch of little things, right? Put together. So we took awesome features and we just put them together. We didn't want the application to be bloated. It's not. It's very easy and very simple to use, and it has a very elegant UI. But still, we took all of these, put them together, and we formed this wonderful
Great work.
project. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
So no doubt the sponsors and whoever were the judges at that time liked your project, and you ended up getting the job from this co-op, from this hackathon. So can you talk more about the person or the firm that hired you, and also like the person that was actually interested in your project?
Yeah, for sure. So the company that I ended up working for is Spaces Shared, and they were one of the sponsors of the hackathon last year. And both the CEO and someone else, I don't remember who it was, they were both at the hackathon. They were attending because the CEO, I remember he was one of the judges for one of the other challenge sets, I believe, not ours. But yeah, so after I got in contact with them, and I met the founding engineer there, who's just amazing. Honestly, it was a priceless experience there at Spaces Shared. I got to speak with the CEO, and he told me, yeah, the way you presented And the way you guys took this project and you delivered it to production in 7 days just made everybody speechless.
Impressed.
And he really, really liked that. So that was one of the main things that he really liked and why he wanted to contact me to join Spaces Shared.
Great.
Yeah.
Great work. So a few minutes ago you talked about the judges and how they have different challenge sets and you can choose which category you can show your work in. So can you briefly describe the whole hackathon event for the week from start to finish, like how it works for new participants here?
Oh yeah, for sure. So when the hackathon begins, there was this. We attended this mixer, which was wonderful. We went there. There was free food. There was Professor Mark Buckner was there. He was speaking about the hackathon, what to expect, his experiences. Everybody was there. We've seen a lot of people there, all the contestants. So that's how it started, how it began, the mixer. And then I remember a day or two later, the problem statements were released for the challenge sets. So the way how the Seneca Hackathon works, there are several challenge sets, and you can opt in to participate in one challenge set. And once you do, at some point, there are going to be problem statements that release under that challenge set. And you need to cater your solution towards one of the problem statements. Now, it doesn't need to be exactly 100% what the problem statement is asking. Like if the problem statement said, use AI and machine learning to whatever, you don't need to stick by it 100%, but the idea must be there. It must be the same direction your project is going towards. Then we had several days to develop our solutions. And once our solutions were ready, we had to submit them for the qualifier round. And that entitled creating these YouTube videos, small presentation, what the project is about, who we are, what we did, maybe a small demo in there. We also prepared a bunch of documents because we wanted to prove that this is a real thing, right? So we had, we had the system design diagrams, we had feasibility reports, we had business plans, we had a lot of, supporting documents to our project. We submitted, and a couple of days later, we were told that, hey, you made it. Now you are going to the final round. And the final round was in person at Seneca Newnham. It was in Building K. And I remember we arrived, and it was such a really well-organized event. It was in a great hall. It was a very big hall. There were tables everywhere, and every table had a number. We got the best number. I remember boasting on LinkedIn, we got number 42. And for people who know what 42 is, you're cool. It's from the book or the movie, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So we got that. Afterwards, we sat down. We noticed everybody around us was, still working on their project. We were done at that point, so we're just, chilling, looking at what everyone else made.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. And then several hours later, the judging round began. And that's when judges would tour around to all the contestants. And that's when you need to have your pitch prepared. That's where you need to present. That's where you need to showcase your project to these judges. And of course, there's a rubric they vote. They like grade you by. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, several hours later, when all was said and done, we had our lunch, I think. All the judging was over with. It was time to select the winners. And I remember the judges chose the top 3 main teams, I think, so in all challenge sets. And these top 3 were actually, the winner out of these top 3 did not win based on the judges' votes, but there was actually a poll where all of the contestants there opened their phones, went to the poll, and started voting on who they think should win.
Oh,
so that was really cool.
Vote for each other.
Yeah, exactly. You could vote for each other
That's
for
weird.
sure. Yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. And in addition to the top 3 teams that won, there were also these challenge set winners. I think these are the teams, maybe the honorable mentions that did the best in their challenge set. So these were like honorable mention prizes or something. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, that's, I would say, the hackathon experience from A to B. And of course, there were a couple of speakers at the final in-person event. So there were a couple of speeches there that were nice. And yeah, seeing all of the talent scouts. And
Did you remember meeting someone special? Special as in, we get politicians, famous people coming in for visiting our hackathon event. So last year.
I don't think I've met. I remember someone was there. I don't remember who he was.
No worries.
I really don't remember who he was. Yeah, I don't really remember who that was. But yeah, someone was there.
That's okay.
I'm not sure. but in my eye, everybody there was special. I mean, it was just an amazing event, and it could not have happened if both the organizing team and the contestants weren't special, right? Yeah.
Great work.
And everyone else.
So I will conclude today's podcast with this last question we had, and I would say that Majd is an inspiration with his contribution to the technology and the hackathons. I'm proud he's on our side on this.
Thank you.
This year's hackathon. He is acting as a consultant for us for Food Hackathon this year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.